Hello YouTube, my name is Raymond, and today I'm going to install a garbage disposal. The garbage disposal I'm going to install today is the InSinkErator Quiet Series 3/4 horsepower Evolution Compact. I did purchase this myself. I'll have a link on Amazon in the description below if you would like to purchase it. Not too difficult to install a garbage disposal. We're doing a kitchen remodel right now, so that we don't have to remove our old one. But if you do, make sure all the power is off that feeds into the garbage disposal, and also if your garbage disposal dishwasher drain line feeds into the garbage disposal, make sure to disconnect that as well. So the first thing you have to do is the garbage disposal comes in basically two pieces. One is the adapter, the flange on the top, and then also the disposal itself. So what you have to do first is you basically have to disassemble this flange adapter piece. They keep it kind of together just for packaging sake. This one had a little snap ring that you just have to pry off. So I just pried the snap ring off, and then I unscrewed the screws, and that allowed me to release the flange from the bracket. So now that I have the flange here, the little rubber collar on the inside is upside down, so I'm just going to take it out. Put it right side up. And now I'm going to place this in the sink using plumber's putty. So plumber's putty is just like a Play-Doh. You just grab a little bit, roll it into like a spaghetti, and then you wrap it around the ring on the inside. And then when you put it in the sink, you just push it in firmly, and that's what will seal up the flange onto your sink. So I used the plumber's putty, rolled it into a rope about a 1/2 inch wide, and then I placed it around the inside of the flange. And now I'm going to put the words on the top and place it right. Make sure that the surface is clean. If you have any excess plumber's putty from the previous garbage disposal, make sure to clean it out very well so there's no little grains or cracks. Then you just place it right in. You get basically one shot, so make sure you do it pretty straight. And then you just kind of push down. And I just kind of jiggle it, just turn it a little bit, but you want to make sure you can push it down as evenly as possible. And then you'll start seeing the plumber's putty come out. The next step is we're going to go under the sink and attach the bracket onto the bottom. For this garbage disposal, you just bring all of the components together, push it up, and then that snap ring that I had to take off in the beginning, I'm going to reapply it again. So maybe while you do this, have somebody hold the top of the flange so it does not pop out. And take two. Now that I have my lovely assistant Yvette holding the flange, I will now place it above, and then using the snap ring to hold the brackets in. Sometimes you may need a flathead screwdriver or pliers to separate the ring as you move it around, kind of like a key ring. And then once you have that in place, then you evenly start screwing the in my case, there's 3 screws, but you want to kind of do it in an even manner. What that's going to do is it's going to apply pressure from the bottom to the top of the sink and the flange, because the flange is holding the garbage disposal onto the sink. So right before you tighten it up, make sure that the words on the top of the flange are right side up and the way you want it. Since I am going to be placing my dishwasher disposal drain through the garbage disposal, I'm going to punch a hole right here. If you are not going to do that, if your dishwasher already hooks into the drain line and you're not going to move it through the garbage disposal, then you don't have to do this step. But I'm basically just going to get a screwdriver and a hammer and punch it out. And then it says to get a pair of pliers and retrieve the plastic piece. So the next step is to make sure that the power is turned off, and if you don't feel comfortable, to hire a certified electrician. You have to buy a cable clamp, and that cable clamp prevents somebody from yanking the wires out of the garbage disposal. So then you feed the cable through. Once you feed the cable through, then you use the bare copper and screw it to the green ground screw. Make sure to hook the copper wire in a clockwise motion, so then when you screw the ground screw in a clockwise motion, it will not try to pull the copper wire out. Once that's done, then you twist the white on the garbage disposal with the white on the power, and then apply a wire nut. And then lastly, twist the black wire on the garbage disposal to the black wire on the electrical and twist it, and then apply a wire nut. Now that is done, we put the cover back on, screw the cover back onto the garbage disposal, and now we tighten the screws on the cable clamp so nobody can yank the wires out. So now we're ready to mount the garbage disposal onto the bracket. For this garbage disposal, there are 3 metal tabs. Those 3 metal tabs correspond to 3 sections around the bracket that you lift the garbage disposal into. So once you are able to lift it, there's a little track that each of the 3 tabs are supposed to raise into the track. So I'm feeling around here to see if all the tabs are in. So that is what one of the tabs looks like. Once the tab is in, then you use the Allen wrench provided and you rotate clockwise the garbage disposal up to the bracket. So the last thing you do is just check around to make sure all 3 tabs are in the bracket. The next step that we're going to do now is we are going to add the dishwasher drain line back into the garbage disposal. There is a metal bracket, and this metal bracket you use a screwdriver to tighten. If you don't feel comfortable doing any of the plumbing steps, feel free to hire a certified plumber. But now we are tightening the dishwasher drain line. Now we're going to clamp the garbage disposal drain line. And this is the part where we're going to connect it to the main drain line. we had to purchase some PVC pipe fitting and also a P-trap. So this was separate from the garbage disposal. What I like to do is I like to kind of dry fit everything, just barely hand tighten the pipes to make sure they all fit. This pipe is a little long, so I'm just going to use a Sharpie to measure where I need to cut. I'm going to cut it with a hacksaw. So when you make your measurement, about a quarter of an inch from where the end of the pipe is, kind of sticks into the other pipe. So make sure to make your cut a little longer than necessary, because it's easier to cut it some more than to try to add more pipe. So once the pipe is cut, I'm adding the washer. The washer there's a certain direction that the washer goes. But once I do that, then I tighten all the PVC fittings together. What I like to do is I like to kind of tighten them all a little bit snug, make sure that none of it's crooked, it's straight, and then hand tighten everything together. So now that everything is hand tightened, we are ready to turn on the power. Now that we've connected all the drain pipes together, we are going to turn on the water and just check for any leaks. We also just turned on the power to the garbage disposal here. And we are going to turn the switch on to make sure that the garbage disposal is working. So this is how I installed a garbage disposal. If you thought the video was helpful, feel free to hit the like button, and if you want to see any more DIY videos, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and if I can install a garbage disposal, you can too.